Hi all. The following is a list that was channeled through me on the subject. If this were your last incarnation, what would you do? 1. I would meditate daily as if I were sitting on the highest ledge in the Himalayas, witnessing the karmic wheels of all souls spinning round and round in an infinite amusement park called Leela, aka cosmic play, and smile. 2. I would be aware of my eternal nature while simultaneously being fully engaged on the personality level in the play of the earth game, and smile. 3. I would acknowledge that everyone is always trying to help me in some way as part of my curriculum in Earth School. If I would only allow them to, and say thank you, and smile. I would embrace everything that happens to me as a quote-unquote plus, as from the perspective of the void, of which there are infinite levels. All manifestations in the earth plane are pure co-creative aliveness, and smile. 5. I would smile equally as much when disaster happens as when things go smoothly, because they're a match set in this plane of duality. 6. I would smile equally as much when pain occurs as when bliss and joy arise, because they're a match set in this plane of duality. 7. I would smile equally as much when loss happens as when gains are made, because they're a match set in this plane of duality. 8. I would smile equally as much when blame and shame come my way as when praise and fame fall into my lap, because they're a match set in this plane of duality. I would choose to cultivate the path of always taking the high road in word and deed, so that this course becomes spontaneous and effortless in the flow, and smile. And 10. I would know that while this might be my last incarnation on the wheel of karma, new adventures await me in infinite dimensions of unrelenting spaciousness, and smile. Please note that the above list is something that I enjoy contemplating as an experiment in consciousness. As for 99.9% of us, the wheel does keep going round and round. But acting as if this were our last sojourn on earth makes each moment that much more precious and inspires us to be fully and mindfully in the now, with whomever we are with or whatever is going on. I would also like to add, when I read this list just now, that I'm not doing very well personally with some of these items on the list in the last year. Especially number 9, I would choose to cultivate the path of always taking the high road in word and deed. Not so much for me in the last year, something for me to remind myself of, to choose to take the high road. This above practice of meditating on this list allows us to get in touch with our attachments while being on earth, so that we can work them through consciously. For if we can play the earth game fully, when we drop our bodies, we'll have no regrets for anything left unsaid, undone, or unhealed, which pulls us back on the wheel. This includes even nostalgia, which is one of the subtlest levels of attachment. Aversion to any part of being in the human condition keeps us firmly on the wheel of karma as well. So if we feel unhappy or discontented or even ambivalent about being in an incarnation, this also keeps us firmly entrenched on the wheel. Our ticket to ride all the way through appears to be a middle path of neither dissatisfaction with what is, nor clinging to that which is juicy and good, as this creates a continuous loop of karmic suffering until we cut it. This by no means implies that we can't completely enjoy the full range of our human emotions, physical senses, and commune with nature, but only within the present moment. Trying to lock things in on this ephemeral plane kind of misses the point, but we do keep trying, don't we? A perfect remedy for our illusions of control and security is watching one of the best meditations on impermanency, Tibetan sand paintings. And then I supply a link. See below in the comments for this link. with the Tibetan sand paintings. As we unwind our samskaras, aka karmic grooves, one layer at a time from lifetime to lifetime, we get to dissolve 3 layers of karmic bondage, which most of us have going on simultaneously to some degree. The 3 layers are: 1. Iron chains, which allow us to experience the balancing karma from past misuse of our energies towards others. 2. Silver chains, which allows us to experience the balancing karma from past misuse of our energies towards ourselves. 3. And finally, golden chains, which allows us to experience reaping the fruits of good deeds we have done, but with attachment, no matter how subtle. This also keeps us on the wheel because we still have to come back into incarnations to receive the benefits of our good karma. The ultimate contemplation and action is in practicing being a channel for good towards ourselves and all others with no attachment, as if we're walking on sand and leaving no footprints, no small feet. But once we can get to the point of honoring all beings, including ourselves, as aspects of the absolute source, the divine or the flow, then all the good that we do is always and only just for ourselves. Capital O in ourselves. And that makes it all very cozy. If you are a lover of duality like me, let me assure you that as entertaining as the highs and lows of our personal roller coasters are, viscerally experiencing other dimensions makes the intensity of the earth plane pale by comparison. Again, viscerally experiencing other dimensions makes the intensity of the earth plane pale by comparison. When we do finally release ourselves from our personal karma, we can still choose to incarnate in the earth again anyway. We just get to fly higher in other dimensions when not incarnate because our karmic baggage is no longer weighing us down. The equation is, to the degree the soul's purses have transcended the individual karmic dance, to this degree do we have more options as to the circumstances of our next incarnation. When it comes to the universal laws of cause and effect, i.e. karma, what goes around truly does come around, and it does all even out in the end, but this knowing requires an exceptionally long-range perspective. Therefore, smiling helps. We want the absolute truth, but can we handle it? It's what we've been journeying towards from the beginning, source or home in the game. But even if we've been waiting for countless incarnations to get off the wheel, it can also be terrifying. The root of all fear is annihilation of the little self in the void. Even if the void, aka emptiness, is the ground which simultaneously contains everything in unmanifest form. In other words, form is arising out of formlessness in every moment ad infinitum. Experiencing everything all at once, outside of linear space and time, definitely involves a learning curve. And that's why we're here. Earth School is the learning curve for merging with Source. And the ultimate truth is, we've never left.